Tuesday night Krug Show. Raj is in the house. We got a lot to get to. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Join us, the Krug Show on a Tuesday night, talking Niners. Big week. Bucks and Niners. Something's got to give. Both teams look pretty good. Do the Bucks look better? We'll talk about it. Off and running Tuesday night on the Krug Show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. Best barbecue in all of Northern California is Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. or until they run out. And I say that because they do. They actually run out. They run out all the time. You can't roll in there 10 minutes before they're going to close and say, hey, I want it all. It's like, you know what? Some of the stuff will run out. That's just the way it is. It's a real barbecue restaurant, but you're going to love it. I've had people from San Diego come to town this weekend, said they went there for the very first time. Guy's girlfriend goes to Cal. He was visiting her. They went to Pig and a Pickle. They took pictures. They said hi to Damon and Mary, and even tweeted me about it. So thanks to all the people who support Pig and a Pickle. And, of course, 49er football season on the Krug Show all year long is presented by Sleeper. Raj and I will do a lineup. Fastest growing fantasy platform in the world, Sleeper. It's a one-stop shop, guys. Blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, sleeper picks, most importantly, and we've been hot, really hot. Baker Mayfield hot. Use the promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions apply. Thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Also, thanks to our good friends at Sharp Corner, Sports Cards and Collectibles, and thanks also to Claw Daddy Arcades, who's a great follow on Instagram at Claw_Daddy_Arcades to find a location near you. Appreciate them as well. But we're off and rolling on a Tuesday night, and hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome to October in Northern California. Glorious weather, warm weather. It's got to be probably the warmest weather in the country, or I've got to think, or somewhere close to it. For October, very unseasonably warm. And on that note, the Niners, who did not, they practiced yesterday, Raj, and they're going to practice tomorrow. They had the kind of the collective off day today for the players. So the players don't come in on Tuesday unless you're getting some kind of rehab. But the Niners personnel department was fast at work because they had a workout of defensive linemen. Some ends, some tackles, and some of these guys, you know their names because you've seen them before. Michael Dwumfor, former Niner. Bruce Hector, who was in camp this summer, former Niner. Shaquille Brown, former Niner. All three defensive tackles. DeMarcus Walker, kind of a combo end tackle. He's about 280. Tommy Aking-Basole, I believe. The Maryland kid, 6'4", 316 pounds, great tackler. He's interesting. And then two defensive ends, Jonathan Garvin, who was here before. He's 26, 6'4", 260. He's kind of, he's just all right. And then maybe the most interesting name I thought was Ja Joyner. And I had Ja on the Krug Show before the draft, but he was a good player. At University of Minnesota, 24-year-old edge rusher. He's a little undersized for what the Niners typically like. He's like 260, 265. But he was a good player at Minnesota. And he played with the guy, I forget his name, the other defensive end, like Stringfellow or something like that. I forget the guy's name, but
that's a good name.
Yeah, the guy, I forget the guy's name. It was like Stringfellow or something like that. The guy he played opposite at Minnesota. And both those guys wound up making it in the NFL. I forget who Stringfellow plays for, but it was one of the teams the Niners, I think, played. I just saw him the other day. So there you go. Ja Joyner, DeMarcus Walker, Shaquille Brown, Jonathan Garvin, Bruce Hector, Michael Dwumfor, and Tommy Aking-Basole. You got a thought on that, Raj? Obviously some of those guys have been here. I mean, is this about Kalia Davis, you think? Or is there another injury?
I think it's partly Kalia Davis, but then there's also Yetur Gross-Matos because he's injured for a few weeks. I don't know if you remember, but Kyle said he's going to miss at least a couple of weeks with his knee injury. That man Doe is hurt. So I feel like they obviously just need depth in case of, whatever's happening with the D-line, right? Khalil Davis, Yetur Gross-Matos. Also, Alfred Collins sprained his knee in the victory against.
He also had a big old club on his wrist or
yeah,
hand, and then CJ West has also got a club, right?
He's got a broken thumb, so so they got a lot of D-line injuries. They just need bodies in there, so they'll probably pull them up onto the practice squad, and then if they need to, elevate them on game day, they can. So they're just getting some bodies because these guys are banged up. But I don't know if they'll play, but definitely to have them on practice squad, which makes sense because they also released and terminated the contract of Jalen Mahomey, the defensive back. So he's out of the practice squad. So you got an extra spot. So I'm sure they'll sign at least one of these guys tomorrow. And then, Wednesday, back to practice. We're going to get a couple transactions. That's how it goes every week. Tuesday, they do their workouts. Wednesday, come back to practice. They'll sign some people for the week. They need, they need some bodies. So that's kind of what the status is on that. But I'm pretty sure
Jordan Jefferson is gone, right?
Yeah, they got rid of him too. I think he signed someplace, maybe Green Bay. I know he got signed somewhere this week.
Yeah, so he's out. As far as defensive line, they have Sebastian Valdez and Evan Anderson. So I mean, it's not like the cupboard's not bare. I mean, I have no problem seeing either one of those guys, if not both, promoted. Anderson's really strong, very strong at the point, and Valdez has got great speed. I'm a big Valdez fan. I think Valdez, especially if they use him in just like a rotational role, because I mean, the preseason this guy played whole quarters, right? And so I don't know if that was the best. I think he'd almost be better if you play him like full bore energy for what amounts to like 2 or 3 series over the course of the game on key downs. I think Valdez might be able to give you some actual sack production. I mean, he's got a lot of speed, and they really need help without Bosa there. I would give him a look.
Actually, 100%. Hopefully they can bring up Seabass. He was amazing in the offseason. Obviously, he's a rookie, undrafted, so he's got a ways to go. But, in training camp, preseason, he looked fantastic. I think he could give him some juice. I mean, at this point, you got really nothing to lose. You're playing with house money. The team is banged up. Whoever gets in there is going to play their heart out. They're going to step up. So, yeah, give him a shot, man. He might be better than, some of the other guys they've had. Like Robert Beal, this guy, he got hurt again. He came back, had a golden opportunity, and now he got hurt and everything. He's like, put in Sebastian Valdez. I'm sure he could do better than what Robert Beal was able to provide this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating watching Beal because he looks like a ton, and his potential is there. I mean, the potential is absolutely there. He could wreck shop if they could ever kind of just get him out on the field, keep him healthy, get him some momentum. But I don't know. It hasn't happened to this point, and I don't know how much longer they're going to wait around. But yeah, he's hurt. Collins is hurt. Gross-Matos is hurt. Khalil Davis is hurt. CJ West is hurt. They got who's not hurt? Sam O, Bryce Huff, Jordan Elliott, even Mikael Williams has got a few different maladies. I'm sure he's relatively healthy. I will say this: the personnel department didn't leave the cupboard bare. They have on the practice squad at defensive tackle, as we mentioned, Valdez and Anderson, and then at defensive end, Raj, Trevis Gibson. And they've got, I think he's got a couple more elevations left, right? You get 3. He's already been elevated once. I think he's a nice player. And then William Bradley King, I think, has got some talent. He showed some nice things to me in the preseason. It was brief. It was at the end of preseason, but he's got a pass rushing knack. I mean, there's no question in my mind. He is a decent prospect. So they're not, it's not like they have nothing. But they, I'm sure this workout was mostly about depth behind the practice squad guys, because you gotta, you always got to prepare for tomorrow, that somebody else is going down. And it gets more and more difficult. And this really just speaks to the theme of the NFL in 2025. It is a war of attrition.
Yeah.
And it's like, we could have a really nice discussion, you and I right now, about, who's going to win the Super Bowl and this and that. We could both make incredible points. We could be well-researched. We could be well-intentioned. You know what I mean? We could have a great conversation. And yet both of us know enough about this sport to know that it's gonna, be about who suffers what injuries and when, and how you look week to week, and you just don't know what team's going to suffer what injuries. So you just keep going. And people say, do the 49ers have a chance? They absolutely have a chance.
Absolutely.
They have a chance against any team. They absolutely have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. Are they going to be the favorite? Doubtful. But you never know. You never know how this thing's going to come together. 49ers, we know will be getting some players back, but then the question is, how many other players do they lose?
Yeah, correct.
So
you're going to lose players weekly, especially the Niners. It's like every damn game we play, like, okay, we won, but it's hurt. So and you're right, around the league. Look around the league. Look at the Chargers. They lost their 2 best tackles, and now they look terrible. The Ravens, they got a multitude of injuries. And the Niners, that's why you got to really respect this team right now and show, like this 49ers team is unbelievable this year. 4-1, first place, right? They got like all these injuries. We know, I'm not going to list them all. Everybody knows the Niner injuries. It's crazy how they're doing it. Kyle Shanahan's in his bag this year. Robert Saleh has really helped with the defense. Obviously, we know the timely defensive plays. Like everything's amazing and it's working together. Imagine when players come back. But you're right. Who the hell knows what's going to happen in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 weeks from now? Like, is everybody that's healthy now going to be healthy? You don't know. You just got to pray that, the best players stay healthy, and whoever has to come in can make that leap and step up and, be that next man up. And that's the Niners, man. It's next man up. Like, look at, okay, we lost George Kittle after, early in the season, and we were like, oh, man, we're screwed. And look at Jake Tonjes has become a bona fide starting type. Like wow, Jake Tonjes, man. Like, it's next man up mentality, right? And that's the Niners, man. Somehow, some way, they keep coming up with funky ways to win games. Man. It's crazy.
25, 30 injuries, still rocking and rolling, 4-1, playing games on the road, winning games on the road with your backup quarterback. 49ers are a contender. They're not a perfect team, but they're also a young team. Now, it's interesting. This week on the other side is Tampa Bay. And in a lot of ways, the Buccaneers are a mirror copy of the Niners. Every Tampa Bay win has been by 3 points or less. Both teams have really low point differentials in the positive. Todd Bowles is a good coach. They've won 3 straight division titles in the NFC South. They're a block punt away from being 5-0. And they've had massive injuries to some of the best players on their team. Wirfs, Gadecki, Cody Mauch, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, Elijah Cansey, Jamel Dean. I mean, they've had crushing injuries, but they're rolling because Mayfield's playing great. Every week he throws for more yardage. This week it was 379 in Seattle. And that kid receiver, Emeka Egbuka, is the first player in NFL history with 25 receptions, 400 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns in his first 5 NFL games.
He's insane.
He's absolutely insane. He's a great route runner, subtle moves, veteran-like player in a lot of ways. So this is going to be a battle royale for sure. How do you see the matchup Sunday?
Yeah, this is gonna be the toughest game of the season so far. Baker, he's cooking, man. That guy's locked in. Him in that receiving core, whoever's his receivers, he makes them look damn good. And Egbuka, wow. I mean, he's right now early. If the season had stayed, he's rookie of the year, hands down. It's not even a question. Bucky Irving's not going to play, but Rachaad White is almost just as good. Like they're not going to miss a beat. Tough team. I feel like the NFL knew what they were doing, flexing this up to afternoon game. It's good for the viewership. It's going to be great, and it's going to be a battle. Now the weather isn't as humid as it has been. I was looking, and I have a friend that lives in Tampa. He's going to the game, and he says the weather's nice. It's like cool. They got a cold front, so it's not going to be humid like it normally is, like nasty heat. So that'll help the Niners. But this is definitely going to be one of the biggest battles of the season. I think it's going to be another close one. Every game the Niners have played has been pretty darn close. Like it's been a cardiac Niner season, and I don't think this one's going to be different. If you watched that Buccaneers Seattle game last week, that was a classic. I expect another classic type game like that with the Niners and the Bucs. I think it's going to be close, separated by like 5-6 points somewhere around there. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out game.
Niners have the number 1 passing offense in football right now, averaging 290 yards a game passing. Unfortunately, they're 28th in rushing. What's wrong with the run game, in your opinion? Is CMC lost it in your mind? Is it offensive line related? Is it the way the games are being called? Is it way teams are defending the Niners? What do you look at? I mean, Shanahan has basically thrown the ball a lot, and the Niners are throwing the ball more than almost any team in football because they can't run it.
I mean, I think there's a combination. Obviously, I think teams are playing the Niners a specific way, but, loading the box, maybe the O-line definitely is a factor. But I also think George Kittle not being there is probably a huge factor that not a lot of people are talking about. We all know how good George Kittle is in the blocking and the run game. I think that is a big factor that isn't getting talked about. And I think I won't say Christian McCaffrey's lost the step, because look at what he's doing. He's putting up like unbelievable numbers as a receiver. They're saying, okay, if we can't get him the ball in space and we're not getting those lanes like we normally could, we're just going to throw it to him. And he looks great when he does get the ball. So I don't think necessarily he's lost a step. I just don't think they're creating the holes that they need to. They're not making those big lanes that we typically see with the Niners. So, I feel like Kyle Shanahan's adapted this season. And, hey, throwing the ball all those times it's fantastic as long as it's working. Now, when it stops working, then we might be a little cooked. But at the moment, I think it's a multitude of those factors, Larry. And I think George Kittle, when he returns, I think the running game will improve a bit.
I think it will too. Though I'm not, I'd like to see them get a different back if they could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously I like McCaffrey and Robinson's nice, but they don't seem like they have confidence in Garendo. I don't have a lot of confidence in Garendo. I'd love to see what Jordan James has one of these games, just to see what they have. The running back might be on the list of potential additions if they, because they really do need to get the running game going. Now, I mean, obviously you're not going to take McCaffrey off the field, but he's shown that he's such a mismatch as a receiver that it would be interesting if they feel like their best 5 eligibles includes Robinson and CMC. I would like to see that. That would be nice to see those guys on the field together. I'd like to see a little bit more of Brian Robinson. It was an incredible performance by last week. It was just amazing. I thought D-Rob was going to be the guy, but it was Bourne that stepped up and just was absolutely monster. The one thing that's really nice is that I watched some of the JT O'Sullivan breakdown, and you can just see how, the relationship that Mac Jones has with Kendrick Bourne. And there was one play where Bourne, he threw it right to him, and it was one of the balls he dropped. And Mac ran right up to him and was like, lifted him off the ground and was like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. I mean, he was uplifting when the guy dropped him, and it was a perfect dime from Jones. Some guys would have been cover their eyes, with that kind of thing. He literally sprinted over to Bourne, lifted him up. So it's that kind of thing that Jones is doing that I think is winning over the guys behind the scenes. And then, of course, moving the football team and just his ability to deliver down the field, outside the numbers, see the whole field, take care of the football, play with rhythm, play with pace, throw with accuracy, take hits, stand in against the pressure. I mean, Jones really looked good last week.
Oh my God, Mac Jones was unbelievable. Let's talk. I want to talk about KB too for a minute, but Mac Jones, man, this guy playing through a PCL injury. He's got the brace on. He's getting smacked around. I mean, the O-line left him for dead, and he got smacked around, gets up, jogs the sideline, doesn't go to the blue tunnel or the blue tent. He's like, screw it. He pulls up the iPad, starts looking at the plays. Adrian Martinez was the happiest guy in the world because he wasn't ready for that moment. Like that, man, Mac Jones led this team to a game-winning drive, 3 touchdowns. This man is playing out of his mind. Like, he understands this system, and you got to realize Kyle Shanahan wanted this guy. I'm pretty certain Kyle Shanahan is so happy that he's being vindicated right now because, all right, the whole draft situation was wild, and now he's kind of saying this might have been what it was, right, if we would have drafted him. But Mac has matured. This is another chance in the league. He's making the most of this opportunity, right? He kind of was left for dead. He's backup quarterback with the Jaguars after flaming out with the Pats, and now, man, looks unbelievable. Mac Jones has been absolutely amazing. This guy was throwing up on the field. He's eating bananas. This guy was amazing. And then Kendrick Bourne, I talked about it last week. I said the chemistry is a lot better between Mac and KB, which that's natural, right? They played together in New England, and you could just see how much more KB was kind of popping off. And, after a really bad game last Sunday against the Jaguars. He bounced back big, and that was much, much needed. Like, you knew somebody was going to step up, and everybody's making a big deal about, look at the Niners offense this week. Going into LA, they got Kendrick Bourne, Demarcus Robinson, Jake Tonjes, and Mac Jones. People were laughing, and sure enough, Kendrick Bourne put up just about the same numbers as Puka, the best receiver in the league right now, and that was unbelievable. And the drop,
it was the greatest game of his career, really.
Greatest game of his career game. He was out there looking like T.O. when he caught 20 catches against the Bears. Like, it was unbelievable, Larry. And the fact that he did that, he still had that performance, and he had the drop in that game is like, wow, he really just mentally locked in at some point, and it was fantastic, man.
If you could have one of these players, but not two, the rest of the year, who do you think is going to be the more productive player the rest of the way between Kendrick Bourne and Demarcus Robinson?
If Mac Jones plays more games, it's going to be Kendrick Bourne. If Mac Jones doesn't play any more games, I can see Demarcus Robinson maybe, because that was his first. He's still getting back in rhythm. It's not like he's at the full, shape that he missed 3 games. So I feel like maybe it'll be Demarcus Robinson. But honestly, right now, after a 10-catch game, you got to lean towards Kendrick Bourne. But that's a good question. I think if Mac Jones plays a lot more games, it's KB. That's his guy. Like, he's locked in with KB.
They look good. They looked like they were on the same page. Have you seen JT O'Sullivan's quarterback school breakdown on Mac Jones?
I love that guy, man. I watch that all the time. Yeah, it's good stuff.
But have you seen this week's? Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for those who missed it, he just went into depth on Mac Jones, and I thought there were several good points that he made. And he really takes the time to kind of break down play after play. And there were some really good observations. One of the comments he had was that Jones really knows where he wants to go with the football when his back foot hits the top of the drop. When he's right there, he's not. Some quarterbacks there are surveying the field. Jones knows where he wants to go by the time he gets to that point in the drop. And I thought that illustrated to me, Raj, just, the kind of processor that Mac Jones has already proven to be. And then there were several other comments that he made, but, he's the accuracy of Jones, the anticipation, the arm strength, moving well within the pocket. He wasn't perfect. He missed some throws, but generally his footwork was really good. He threw the ball with touch. He threw the ball with anticipation. He had a perfect anticipation ball on a dime on a back shoulder to Demarcus Robinson. That was a great one. There were, whatchamacallit, makes some really good points about Jones, and just how Jones really, he just looks very, very comfortable. It looks odd. He played really well. He's obviously a good processor. He didn't make a lot of mistakes. He threw a number of where he kind of threw the ball into the void, anticipation throws, some of them, a couple throws downfield, a couple throws outside the numbers, some big throws on second down. He made a number of plays, and he made it kind of look easy. He carried out play fakes. He processed what he saw out there. And I thought the best line from JT O'Sullivan was that he did a nice job avoiding pressure and dealing with the pressure when it was there. He did take 10 hits, only 1 sack. But I thought the best line he had was that Jones did a really nice job of having his feet lined up to his first read. And so he was ready to deliver the ball to his first read, and with the proper footwork. And it kind of showed. He was very decisive, and he played on time. He looked really good. There's no reason for the 49ers to not put him back out there, especially with Brock's toe barking. I think the biggest positive all week is that I didn't see Brock at practice on Monday, and I would hope if he's really resting that we won't see him at practice for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Shanahan said he's week to week. Ian Rappaport last weekend said he's week to week. So I really think that he's got to take some time to heal. And with the way that Mac's playing and the way the team is playing, really, he's got time to buy. He's got time to rest. And, we're at a 4-1 start. You got a good enough cushion where even if you lose 2 games, which I don't think we will, even if you lose a few games here and there, it's okay because you do have that cushion. So I think we're off to a fantastic start that nobody really expected. I know I didn't. So as long as the team's doing well, there's no need to rush it, man. I know he got the big contract and he probably wants to prove himself, but listen, man, Brock, sit back, relax, keep doing some of those Toyota commercials, earn your money. And when the toe feels good, come back because that injury, Larry, it's a very nagging, it's a pesky, it's an injury that becomes really painful. Yeah. And it can recur he's already aggravated it, right, from coming back to the Jag game. So just got to rest and let that toe heal because it can become really, really bad. Look at Joe Burrow. His was so bad, he had to get surgery. Patrick Willis had to retire because of that type of injury. Like he never felt like he could be the same type of player with the turf toe injury. So it's very, very painful. Brock, just take a time and rest. And when the time is right, come back and everything will be good.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to pretend that you're a doctor at all, but Raj does do physical therapy. It seems like it's, if it was a turf toe, that like the worst thing that you could do would be do what they've already done, which is take a couple weeks off, and then play again, and then it gets inflamed again, and then take a few more weeks off and it quiets down, and then play again and it gets inflamed again. And it seems like all that irritation in that area, repeated irritation, recurrence of this can't be a good thing. It's not something that you would want. So that's not really a solution. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what is the solution for this kind of an injury? Is it extended rest or is it surgical? It can be handled surgically.
I mean, like I said, his doesn't seem to be as extensive as Joe Burrow's. He had to go and get surgery because it was so bad that they had to go in and do surgery. But with the issue that Brock's got, it can become a recurrent issue, like you said, like chronic injury, where it's just you come back, it gets worse. You come back, you get worse. He has to just take a few weeks off. The initial diagnosis, Larry, was 2 to 5 weeks. I think he should have taken closer to 4 or 5 weeks. Came back in 2. I know he was like chomping at the bit to get back, but the faster you come back and you don't let that toe heal, it's just going to keep on swelling up and, inflaming. And he's got to take 3 weeks at least of just rest and relaxation and letting the pain control, die down and letting the swelling die down. Because if you don't, it's going to become so painful because, people don't think toes injuries are, it's just your toe. But you don't realize how much your toe is involved in walking, running, stepping, laterally moving, like all the things that Brock Purdy has to do as a quarterback, drop back, everything. You're planning on that toe. You're stepping off on that toe. You're cutting on that toe. And it's painful as hell, Larry. So he needs to rest.
I didn't overstep my bounds by saying that you're not a doctor, right? I mean, you are a doctor. I mean, no, you're not a doctor. I mean,
I got a doctorate in physics.
You have a doctorate, but you're not an MD.
I'm not an MD. No.
Yeah. That's all I meant to say. People in the chat are like, you're doing Raj wrong.
No, they're not.
I'm not doing Raj wrong. I'm just trying to point out to the grand jury here that no, I just trying to point out that Raj is not a doctor per se, but he's in the medical profession. He knows more about it than I do. Which, could be a lot of topics. All right, let's do a sleeper lineup. We're brought to you by Sleeper. 49er football this season on the Krug Show is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chats, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy, where you choose between 2 to 8 players pre-game or live and pick more or less on their statistical projections. And if you're new to it, use the promo code Larry. You'll get 100% deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit. Links right there in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. Raj, we've been hot. We've been winning. We've been winning consistently on Sleeper. And we're going to go Thursday night football. G-Men and the Eagles.
Oh, God, that's a terrible matchup.
Terrible matchup. But I'll watch it. What the heck?
Watch it. I got to do my promo, too. I'm gonna copy this one and use it for my weekend.
All right. What do you got a vibe on any of these Eagles or Giants? I like to root for Cam Scattaboo.
Yeah, me too. Is Barkley playing? He's been kind of struggling. He's been, you know what? This is
He
the
has
week
been
where
struggling. They have been running it well.
this is the week Saquon Barkley gets back on. This is a Saquon Barkley get right game. We putting it in anytime Tutty, Saquon Barkley. He's going.
Okay.
Anytime.
There you go. Touchdown for Barkley. Let's go to Cam Scattaboo.
Caddy. What you got?
What do we got for Cam? An anytime touchdown, I guess. That's it. Give it to me. I'll take it.
That's it. Okay.
I'll go Cam Scattaboo. He's a great story. National TV. They'll make sure he gets one.
I love him.
Sac State, baby. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Yeah. Stingers up. I know it's pathetic. Jackson Dart is probably going to throw a pick.
I think so.
Right? Let's see that. Let's get a pick. Let's get a pick for Jackson Dart.
JD.
He's going to throw a pick.
Okay.
There you go. Cooper DeJean steps in front of one, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
What do we got for Devonta Smith? Because he's their only receiver worth the blood knuckle right now. AJ Brown not looking too hot.
Devontae.
48.5 yards receiving. I feel like that's a more.
Okay. Let's go more on that. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, you think
but
so?
Not, well, you never know. I mean, they could. You just said you think it's a get right game for Barkley, so they may run the ball a lot. I kind of think Wan'Dale Robinson's going over because there is no Malik Neighbors. The Giants I think the Giants. He's going over whether they win or lose.
That's true. Yeah, they got to throw it to somebody.
6 receptions. Give me that. 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I like 6 receptions. They're going to be going to him. There's no neighbors. There's no neighbors. And Wandale's got talent. He's got talent. All right, we got a big hitter here.
We got a big hitter.
All right, $5. What are we going to make? Barkley's got to score a touch. Scattaboo's got to score a touchdown. Devontae Smith's got to have 49 yards. Barkley's got to score a touchdown. Dart's got to throw a pick. Wandale's got to get 6 receptions. If all those things happen, $5 becomes $61.80.
Nice.
Ooh.
Not bad.
We've been killing it. Absolutely killing it.
Let's do it.
So there you go. Awesome. Thank you to Sleeper. We're loving Sleeper. Big thanks to Sleeper. And remember, use code Larry for 100% deposit match up to $100. Links right in the description. Terms apply. Help support the show and also gets you rolling on the #1 sports app, Sleeper. All right. Raj is, when I say that, Raj just goes right to sleep.
Right to sleep. I'm actually really tired today. We good though.
Are you going to make it through the stream?
I will. I took a nap actually.
We're 32 minutes in. You want to get some? You want to get crush a couple? What's that? You got a couple jolts in the fridge?
Oh, no, I can't.
Remember Jolt?
I do. I mean, Jolt Cola. That stuff was
awful.
That was so bad. It was like so much caffeine in that thing. It was bad.
Between that, now people drink like what, Mountain Dew and Red Bull and
all types of Monster energy drink. I can't drink those.
Monster. I always have a gigantic Monster at my desk. My name is Jeff. Says Neighbors is out, Larry. Yes, I do know that. He's on my fantasy team.
ACL.
By the way, he hurt. What did Neighbors hurt? Well, actually, you know what? We have more time to tell you what he didn't hurt because he hurt it all. I don't know if you saw that. He tore the ACL, the MCL, the PCL, the meniscus, and the turf toe. He tore the turf toe. What the heck?
That's crazy.
Like a car accident.
Bad injury, dude. The fact that he tore all the ligaments in his knee is actually insane. That's actually insane. I feel bad for the guy. That MetLife turf. That's the word. I'm so scared when the Niners play the Giants. Oh God, man.
This is a dump.
Place every time someone plays it, you get hurt.
Trying to put this one on there. 49er Red Zone. You're a monster, Larry. Straight up beast. Thank you, 49er Red Zone. And if you'd ripped me, I definitely would have put it up there as well. Or not. All right. So there you go. Sleeper. Thanks to Sleeper. We love Sleeper. Go sign up. Sleeper called me the other day and said, Krug, man, lots of people are signing up. Lots of people are signing up. So way to go, Krug Show. Way to go, Krug Show Army. Thank you for signing up on Sleeper and kicking butt. It's a lot of fun. And when I'm saying Kevin, I won, you know, we can verify it because you guys, we do them on live streams. You can see us making the picks ahead of time and you can see for yourself if we won, and we have. It's awesome. It's actually pretty, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's kind of easy. I don't want to mess around, make it sound like we're get all cocky and everything, but it's kind of easy.
You're gonna jinx yourself.
I'm never gonna win again. Watch,
Can't
like
do
6
that.
months from now, I don't know what happened. All right, a couple other things I want to get to. You and I sometimes, first of all, the trade deadline's coming up week 9. It's week 6, so we're getting close.
Oh, November 2nd, right?
Yeah. First week in November. So we're inside of a month. It's like 3-4 weeks away. And I think the Niner faithful, I hate to say it to John Lynch, but I think they're expecting John Lynch to do something. I really do, even though and I think John is wanting to do something. I mean, he's just a competitor and he wants to help. There was a trade today, believe it or not. The Ravens traded Odafe Owe, who used to have a different name when he was at Penn State, and he goes to the Chargers for Alohi Gilman, the safety, and a 5th-round pick. So it's Odafe Owe and a 7th from the Ravens to the Chargers for Alohi Gilman and a 5th. That's interesting. Also, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson got a new home today. He signed with the Ravens practice squad. Wow.
They're
Times have changed for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson if you're having to settle for a practice squad spot. Also, the Browns traded Joe Flacco today to the Bengals. Yeah. And the Bengals released Brett Rippon and are now going with Joe Flacco at quarterback. So we're starting to see some moves. There was also a couple other notes today. Adam Schefter says he expects a frenzy of trades leading up to the trade deadline. So there'll be a flurry, not a frenzy, a flurry. How many is a flurry? He's expecting a flurry of trades at the trade deadline, with the trade deadline approaching.
Oh man.
So that's interesting. Also, by the way, Jerry Jones fined $250,000 for a gesture he made at MetLife, and Jonathan Gannon fined $100,000 for hitting his player. How about that, Amari Dermercado? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Did you see what he did?
What Dermercado did?
Yeah,
I lost Kevin. I lost our survivor pool on that.
Oh, God, dude.
We lost our survivor pool on the freaking Cardinals. It was like I caused that by making it my survivor bet. I caused that whole thing.
You know, I mean, you shouldn't be. I guess you shouldn't be hitting people, but he was pissed off, dude. You don't celebrate early. You just dropped the ball. Like, that game was crazy. The Cardinals had that game locked up, and they go and blow that game away. They
fumbled an interception away for a touchdown. Who does that? Who catches an interception and then turns it into a touchdown for their opponent?
I know, that game was wild, man. And the Cardinals, they've lost 3 straight game on a game-winning field goal. Holy, like, the odds of that, Larry, are so insane. I saw that and I'm going, there's no way the Titans just won this game. I'm watching that. I'm going, there's no way the Titans just won this game. This weekend, Larry, was absolutely fantastic. If you're a hate watcher like me, it was glorious. The Raiders lost, the Cardinals lost, the Seahawks lost, the Eagles lost, the Rams lost, the Cardinals lost. Like, it was so amazing. The only thing that didn't happen was the Cowboys.
I lost.
You lost, but hey, we won. Niners are in first place. All these teams lost. It was glory. The Chiefs lost. Hate watch.
I did win on that, though. I did have Jags Monday night.
Did you? You took a money line?
I had the Jags Monday night.
Nice pick,
man. I had the Jags and I had the over. That was a great one.
That's a good
I was feeling bad, though. At the beginning of that game, I was in a 14-0 hole. Anyway, nobody wants to hear about my gambling. Yeah. Normally we do all right, but not today. Not this weekend. This weekend was bad. Rough weekend. Kev says no one cares about your bets. Let me tell you, Raj, I had a 3-team 7.5 point teaser that was on the. Let's go through my arsenal of college mispicks.
Oh, college is tough, man.
Thank you, Cal. Cal was up 21-7 and then lost 45-21. I mean, it was like, what the heck happened there?
Yeah, he sold it.
Yeah, anyway. But Grant Cohn had a great stat today. And for those people who are mad at Grant, Grant.
They're coming for you now, Larry. You're putting up a Grant stat.
I know, but I'm going to put it up anyway.
Let's do it.
It's a good one. It's a really good one.
What is it? Let's see it.
Okay, let me get it. The mechanics of the whole thing on the YouTube, it just really, it eludes me sometimes. I've got a point, I've got a click, I've got a share, I've got a this, I've got a that. There we go.
Here we go. Here it is.
There we go. Grant count. Brock Purdy, when he holds the ball for less than 2.5 seconds this season, 29 of 36, 394 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a 128.5 passer rating. Brock Purdy, when he holds the ball longer than 2.5 seconds this season, 19 of 37 for 292, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, and a 47.2 passer rating. And then Grant goes on to say he's holding the ball too long. What do you make of that one? Because, the one thing is that, Brock Purdy is much more of a down the field thrower, and he does hold the ball because he can run around when he's healthy and buy extra time and put pressure on the defense that way. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but those numbers obviously are pretty clear. Jones is getting rid of the ball quick and having success. Purdy's getting rid of the ball quick and having success. When Purdy holds the ball, he's not having success. When Jones holds the ball, he's taking sacks. He's taking sacks. I mean, he's not taking a lot of them, but we've seen it. Is it as simple as get the ball out really, really fast and live with the results? What do you think?
Obviously, that's the way this offensive system is. We all know, through Kyle Shanahan's system, is get the ball out quick. I mean, even when Jimmy was quarterback, get the ball out quick. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's nice sometimes to toss it deep and get those, big plays, the air yards, the big, sexy, deep pass. It's nice to have all that, but that's not the Niners offense. It's dink and dunk, usually, check down. Obviously, we've seen Brock, and he likes to go through his progressions and toss it down the field, but sometimes you can't, especially with the O-line, if they're not, protecting well, or as we mentioned earlier, the O-line is having a hard time, blocking for the run game. And if the run game's not working and you're throwing a lot, teams are going to try to get at the quarterback. And I think getting the ball out quick is the Niners offense. It's always been like that. So I don't think it's like this groundbreaking stat. I think it's just pretty much the 49ers offense. And the stats are there. Grant did a good job of pointing them out. You get rid of the ball, you get results. Mac Jones is getting rid of the ball super quick. You could tell. And it's just boom, here, give it to CMC. Okay, boom, slant and go. Okay, let's get the ball to Tonjes. Usually it's George Kittle. So that's what the Niners do. Get rid of that ball quick and keep moving the ball down the field. Now, if the run game is better, it's going to make it even more deadly in the pass game the way that they're playing this year. So 100% get rid of that ball, but also hopefully the offensive line can protect. But I think another thing needs to be said as far as we talked about Brock Purdy and his turf toe. He's definitely not 100% because you're right. Sometimes he is able to kind of use that mobility and run and buy time. We've seen so many touchdowns where you're like, wow, how did he make that happen? Against Detroit, if he didn't use that mobility, they wouldn't have won that game in the NFC Championship. So, yeah, I think Purdy is a guy that he likes to use that mobility. But this year, it's definitely not happening, and the injury has slowed him down a bit. That Jaguars game was brutal. But Jaguars are a good team.
No question. They look good last night against Kansas City. This guy, Tom Jensen, replying to Grant, says Mac Jones' average time to throw versus the Rams was 2.4 seconds. Purdy so far this year, 2.9. So, I mean, getting the ball out quick. I mean, Purdy, I think, is a little bit more aggressive. He's a little bit more of a big play hunter. Now, I like that about him. And I think when he's fully healthy and he has that escapability and he's got that playmaking ability, I think, I think he's better than Mac Jones, to be honest, because of the movement ability. But if you take away either all of or a chunk of Brock Purdy's, mobility, then now he's got to make more plays in the pocket. Well, if you got to make more plays in the pocket, then, the taller quarterback that can throw over the lineman typically is going to have more success and have fewer passes batted down. I think that's the other thing. We've seen Jones with only a couple passes batted down where Purdy gets a few more because of his height. I think the Niners are in a great position. with two quarterbacks that can really play. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, because Mac Jones is under contract next year for $7 million, and he could want to go somewhere else. And I guarantee you, after watching Baker Mayfield Baker Mayfield, let's just project this out. Let's say Baker Mayfield continues on this ridiculous run and he wins the MVP. Now you've got a quarterback who was given up for dead winning the MVP. If Mac Jones and Daniel Jones continue to play really, really well, now you got two other quote unquote reclamation, project quarterbacks who are having success. I could very much see the Niners getting a very attractive offer for Mac Jones. Whether they're going to take it or not, or whether they would want to keep Mac Jones, I don't know. I guess we'll find out over time. And suddenly there's a lot of drama around this, because it could go a lot of different ways based on how well the two quarterbacks play and how things shake out. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm not here to sit there and go, oh, this is a gigantic quarterback controversy and stir the pot. But the reality is that that's not for me or you or for anybody else to say. It's going to be a product of how these two quarterbacks play and how the Niners do with them out there. And the thing's going to play itself out one way or another, and it's going to be great drama.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be drama whether you like it or not, whether you think it's a quarterback controversy or not. It's going to end up being a situation. Like you said, Brock, he's our $53 million franchise quarterback. He takes risks, but that's his game. And when sometimes he hits those risks, it's like, wow, beautiful, unbelievable. Mac Jones is safe. He's conservative, but Mac Jones is also playing to showcase himself to get a contract eventually, maybe down the line. He knows what this is. He knows this is my opportunity. I'm going to become a starter right now. And whether I get benched or not, it doesn't matter, because he knows next year the grass is going to be so greener. And that's what he came here for, to be that reclamation project, just like Sam Darnold. Whether the Niners trade him or not, that's to be determined, because it is nice to have two really good quarterbacks right now, two starting caliber quarterbacks. And Mac Jones is proving he can be a starter in this league. It's not like he has, the Avengers he's throwing to. We've talked about the receivers he had. He had a depleted roster. Unbelievably, he was able to walk into LA and finish that game with the W, which nobody believed the Niners could win, right? Other than a few people. And it's amazing. And Mac Jones is doing what he needs to do for himself to get a big contract down the line. And if you look at Brock Purdy, this is what Brock Purdy did a couple years ago, right? He comes in, throw him into the fire. Nobody knew who he was. Mr. Irrelevant. Jimmy goes down, Trey's the hurt. You needed a quarterback. He goes in there and it's like, oh, wow, okay, now we got a quarterback. Mac Jones is coming in. Brock Purdy's hurt, and he's the hot hand. And it's like, wow, this guy's so hard. You can't bench him, because if he wins, let's just say like this. Let's say they have 3 more games without Brock. Let's say that's the case. And let's say Mac Jones goes 3-0 in that stretch. If he runs the table and he's 6-0 as a starter, it's going to be hard to bench a guy that's playing that good. But at the same time, it's hard not to put Brock Purdy back in the lineup, because you're paying him $53 million. So you absolutely have yourself a situation in a couple of weeks. But it'll play out the way it plays out. And right now, it's a good thing to have two quarterbacks that can win you games, Larry. It's fantastic.
Oh, absolutely is. And I mean, the value that you're gaining as an organization by being able to trade a quarterback. If you have two franchise quarterbacks and you have you have an ability to get better. I mean, how do you get better? Have multiple franchise quarterbacks and trade one of them away for draft picks and then hit on those draft picks. That's how you get better really, really fast. As far as the quarterbacks, Baldy weighed in, and he believes the Niners should ride the hot hand and stay with Mac Jones. This is what he said. He said, it's not a knock on Brock. If he's not 95% healthy, why put him out there? If Mac wins a fourth game against a very good Tampa Bay team, then I would definitely leave him in at this point. I believe in riding the hot hand. You have to win as many games as you possibly can, however you do it. And you cannot worry about any player's egos or anything else. Mac's playing great football right now, and I wouldn't be in a hurry to make that change. I absolutely concur with everything he said there.
100%. I can't disagree with that. It's so hard to take out a quarterback that's just playing blazing right there. And, you're going to ruin the team chemistry, the team vibe. Like, these guys are going, obviously they love Brock. And it's not that they're going to be like sour that Brock's our guy. Brock's starting now, not Mac. That's not even the case. But it's just like you have this momentum, and Mac is feeling that momentum. And they got just a good chemistry with them, right? We talked about Kendrick Bourne and the way this team is going. They feel confident when he's in the roster, in the huddle. But I'm sure they're confident with Brock. But if he's not 100%, or close to 95, like he said, it's going to be hard for him to be going out there and doing the things he needs to do, and it's going to be detrimental for him. And then Brock's going to be pressing, and mentally he's just not going to be where he needs, because he's going to try too much. And I already said Brock, he's that risk taker, right? He's like that Brett Favre mentality type quarterback, who Brett was great, but there was times where you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I feel Brock does that sometimes. It's like, man, he's good. But then there's times where you're just like, what are you doing, Brock? And I think he'll press a little bit more because he wants to be a superhero. He wants to be that, he wants to have hero ball moments. And that sometimes is the downfall of Brock. It's like, man, what are you doing? You just got to move the ball, be safe with it. And absolutely, Mac right now is the hot. It's hard to justify taking him out right now because he's playing so good. If he walks into Tampa Bay, Larry, and they win this game against Tampa Bay, you can't take him out. You can't take him out. You cannot take him out. If they walk into Tampa Bay.
I mean, I would play Mac Jones right now for the good of both of them.
Yeah.
I would. I'm not rooting for Mac Jones or rooting for Purdy. I'm rooting for the Niners, and I think Purdy has to get healthy.
Absolutely.
To get healthy.
100%.
And think about the nature of this toe thing. If you allowed Brock Purdy to go out there and play, and he did himself serious damage, for beyond this year, that would be a real shame. Would be a real shame. I don't want to see that. So I do think these toe injuries are bad. I think they're really bad. So
there's these injuries,
yeah. Let's hit a couple other topics before we get out of here. And Raj is in the house. We're 51 minutes in. We're not going to go all night long. But 5 guys. We're gonna do a little draft here. We haven't done a draft in a while.
Draft time.
It's draft day. Ding, 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 ding. Draft day on the Krug Show. Wait a second. We got to do this right. We're going to do this. We got to do this right.
Let's do it.
Damn it. We're going to do this. We're going to do it right. It's draft day, brought to you by Habbas Law. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. Habbas Law, a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. We'll make this our Habbas Law segment of the show. And thanks to Habbas Law for sponsoring the Krug Show. When you need a good lawyer in your corner, you need Habbas Law. Call the firm the insurance companies hope you never call. Habbas Law, they will fight to make it right. Visit their website, habbaslaw.com, HABBAS law.com. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. Habbas Law. All right. The trade deadline's coming up, week 9. 49ers hopefully will make some additions. We are now going to go do a draft. I'll give you the first pick. I'll go second. We're going to do a draft of the 5 players that you think are most likely to be trade targets for the 49ers.
Okay.
They don't have to be the biggest names. They can just the 5 most likely trade targets for the 49ers.
Okay. First one.
Wait a second.
First one. Let's go.
Wait,
they need we know they need an edge rusher. We know they need.
What do they need? They need an edge rusher. They need a defensive tackle. They could probably use another receiver. Well, they have a lot of receivers. They could use another running back. They could probably use an offensive lineman if they could find one, but I don't think they were going to be able to find one. I don't even think they're going to try. I mean, they'll try, but I mean, I don't think it's even worth trying. The one name I did see was the guy, Elijah Tucker, Vera Tucker from the Jets.
Yeah.
He's supposedly, out there, but anytime somebody's trading an offensive lineman, you got to ask yourself, why? Why are they trading an offensive lineman? Usually that's not good. But the Niners did get Laken Tomlinson for a 5th-round pick from Detroit a number of years ago at the beginning of the regime, right? And he played really well, and that was a very good trade for the Niners. So it's not unheard of, but that's a guard. That's not a tackle.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll give you the first pick in our Habbas Law. 5 guys we predict the 49ers will trade for at the trade deadline. You have 5 guys you can choose, and we're going to go back and forth.
Okay,
And
so
nobody can pick twice. Nobody can be picked twice.
okay, so obviously we just talked about they need an edge rusher. They need a guy to help come in and take over for Nick Bosa, because obviously, hey, they're depth at D line at D end is lacking. Especially, I love Bryce Huff, but he's not an every down pass rusher. So there's a lot of them. I'm sure you're gonna drop one. I'm gonna give you Kayvon Thibodeau, however you pronounce it.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, Thibodeau. I think that's the move. I think he's on a position. He'll be on a team where they'll be wanting draft picks. They're gonna want to make a trade, and I think he's gonna be available for a contender. It's the one. Go get him. If you bring him into this lineup, that's a nice move.
I like that. I like Kayvon Thibodeau. That's a good one. Who am I going to go with as my number one? Now, of course, there's no order. It doesn't matter. I think they want to make a difference, but I don't think they want to. I'll say Will McDonald.
Will McDonald. Okay.
Will McDonald of the Jets. Speed rushing defensive end, kind of a younger version of Bryce Huff. I could see. It seems like Robert Saleh is making so many of these picks. You can kind of tell, he knows the guy. He knows who's good off the guys he's been around, but does he know who's good across the league? And so I think he's going to want one of the guys he really knows. And didn't he draft Will McDonald? So I'll go Will McDonald.
Yeah, he knows. Okay, so I'm going to stick with defensive end. If they don't get Kayvon,
okay,
I got to go one more, because I know everybody wants Trey Hendrickson. I know everybody wants that move, and I don't think it's going to happen. Today, the Browns, they're trying to stay afloat. Not the Browns. The Bengals are trying to stay competitive until Joe Burrow comes back. So they traded for Joe Flacco, Mr. Journeyman himself. Now, is he going to win games? I don't know. But somehow, some way, that guy finds ways to win games. So they're at least trying. So I don't know if they're going to be in the room to trade Trey Hendrickson. So I'm going to go with another guy who will probably be available because his head coach is probably going to get fired soon, Mike McDaniel. I'm going with Miami, Jalen Phillips. I think the Niners might be able to make a move for him, because I think in 2 to 3 weeks, Miami's going to be just, here we go. Talent, take it. We need draft picks. We're retooling this offseason.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Jalen Phillips. Okay. I like that. It's really hard to say. Yeah. I'm going to go with, who was my second pick? You know what? I'm going to share the screen on this one. I really like the idea. I do think the Niners are going to look to make trades. I do. But I do think because they have a younger core, if they're going to move any draft capital, which is typically what you have to move in these deals, I don't think they're going to want a guy who's just done. I think they're going to want somebody who has a little bit more left. And I just like somebody that they can control and own for, a year or two. So they don't, because I think they're not going to want, they're cognizant of their depth. So I'm going to share the screen here. Our buddy Brad had this idea, and I kind of like this idea. This is Miles Murphy. This is Miles Murphy, and I'm going to put the volume down over here. Let's see. And I think he's up top down here. Up top. And he's just, he's a 275-pound defensive end. He's just really, really athletic. And he's on that same line with the Bengals, with Hendrickson. He's just cheaper. He's younger. He's athletic. I could see Miles Murphy. So I'm going to go Miles Murphy. I know that's kind of off the almost ordering off the menu, defensive end with the Bengals. But I think Brad's onto something here with Miles Murphy. He's not in the right system there. I think the Niners could buy low on him and get a nice little upside. He's kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Raj, kind of like a Charles Omenihu, kind of a big bodied defensive end. So there you go.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely get a guy like a Menuhu. And speaking of Menuhu, I'm going to stay with. I know I'm just dropping defensive linemen because
That's
I
okay.
think
That's likely what they're going to trade for.
likely what they're going to do, and I really think that's the move they're going to get. They're probably going to get the edge and a defense tackle, and they'll give up some draft picks because they're going to get those compensatory picks and they can make it up. The guy that they could probably get for a late round pick who's been on the team before, I think they're bringing back Arden Key this year. I think he's going to come back to the Niners, and it's going to be cool, man. I loved Arden Key. I think he's coming back to the Niners from the Titans. I think the Titans will say, okay, you can have him. He's a veteran. We want draft picks. Bring him back to bolster your defensive line. I think Arden Key reuniting with the Niners, I won't say I'm going to guarantee it, but I would say it's a very strong possibility.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. Arden Key to the Niners. Okay. He's a good player. He's hurt right now with something, right? He's got some kind of injury going right now.
He'll be back. He'll be ready.
But he'll be back. I don't know. I it's funny. Everybody's talking about Jeffrey Simmons, and I think if you look at that Tennessee team, they have Sebastian Joseph Day and Arden Key, and it seems like the Niners. That seems more like the Niners' speed. But I'm going to say Jeffrey Simmons because even though Jeffrey Simmons seems like a pipe dream, the Niners also have been in this mode of if we're going to. I mean, look at they've traded for recently. It's like if we're going to trade for somebody, we don't want somebody who's about as good as the guys we have. We want a difference maker. We want CMC. We want Trent Williams. You know what I mean? We want somebody who's really going to come in and make a difference. And I think Simmons, they tried this route with Hargrave, but he wasn't the war daddy that they really needed. Simmons is probably the closest replication of Chris Jones there is in the league. And they did lose Gross Matos. They do have some edge rushers. Maybe they don't have anybody who's really a difference maker inside. Simmons is a difference maker. So I'm going to say Simmons.
Okay. That's a good one.
It's a little off the menu, but it's going to take a huge effort to get him. But if you don't have to move your number one, I'd almost be interested in almost anything I got to do as long as I don't have to move that number one pick.
Okay, that's good. I was reading some articles today, and I'm glad we did this thing because I saw a name that popped up, and I was like, I don't know. And I know we talk about defensive linemen. I know we need an offensive lineman, but I just don't see the Niners being able to trade for an O-lineman. There's just nobody available. There's really, I can't think of any. Now, this came up. This was very interesting. Matt Mielko wrote it. He's usually wrong, but he does have
Matty's really credible.
He's good. But when he makes guesses, he's been off this year. He's been a little off.
All right. Well, you hit some, you miss some.
You miss some, you hit some. But this one kind of caught me. I was like, I don't know, maybe this one. So he said wide receiver Xavier Legette. Keep an eye on that name. He says this guy could help the Niners, right? Obviously, he's a second year. He really hasn't hit his stride with the Panthers, and maybe they'll be able to gives up some. You never know. Maybe the Niners could add young Xavier Legette onto the roster, and he could kind of take a big leap with the Niners and get us, maybe a fresh start because they have Ted McMillan, right? He's kind of their go-to guy. They thought it was going to be Legette. I don't know. Maybe. I saw that today, and I was like, it's kind of interesting. So I'm going to drop that name out there. I would actually. Really
I think that's a great name, dude. I really do. Because I think you're right. I watched film on him the other day for a few minutes. The Niners, they would never, they're not publicly trashing Carolina, but they've kind of said a couple times,
Yeah. And I'm not
just because the guy didn't do it in Carolina doesn't ever deters them. You know what I mean? It's there's a couple guys in Carolina that I'm sure the Niners would love to have.
Sure they would.
Chow Smith-Wade, the corner. He was coached by the Niners corner that they brought in from Boston College. Their cornerback coach, his name Jackson, I believe. He coached Chow Smith-Wade. So I know they would love Chow Smith-Wade, who's a tremendous young corner, though he's a nickel and he's hurt right now. But he's a good nickel corner. And you threw out Xavier Legette. That's an interesting one. I'm gonna say this is a deep pull. deep sleeper. But off the I like your idea of kind of Carolina Panthers, guys people aren't thinking of. And you went with Xavier Legette, and that's a great one. I'm going to go with Thomas Incoom. And you say, Thomas Incoom, who the heck's that? He's a 6'2", 265-pound edge rusher. Played outside linebacker, defensive end for Central Michigan. Had a really good preseason. He's buried on their depth chart, but he's a great athlete. Great athlete. And I just think in this system, in this scheme, if you got a guy like Incoom who could get up the field, burn the edge, go watch film on this guy for 2 minutes, and you'll see what I'm talking about. He's got edge difference maker, and he's just sitting there mired on this bad team, and he doesn't get much run, and they're just, it's like he had a big preseason. I mean, look at his game log. I think he had a couple sacks. He looked good. And he's just kind of sitting around on Carolina's team. So I'll go Thomas Incoom, Carolina.
Okay, nice.
Who's your fifth? Who's your fifth
one
guy?
Real quick before we get in,
I like your Xavier Legette though. That's a great.
I'm not trying to hate on Matt Malcolm. I'm just saying he's made a lot of predictions in the offseason, and I posted a few of them.
When did he have that one? I never saw that one.
It was today. There, if
he had it today.
Yeah, it was on. It's on. Where is it at? It's on.
Who else does he have?
That's the only one that they posted on this article.
Oh,
it was like Niner Noise, and they pulled it up from something he was writing or reporting on. But I'm not hating on him. He's been missing his prediction. That's it. But he's a great reporter. I love Matt Malcolm. He's a good guy. But anyways, I digress. My fifth and final one is tough, man. Maybe I'm gonna give you one that I hope they get. Obviously, I just hope they get Trey Hendrickson, man. It's just screw it. Go in. Trade them what they want. Go get Trey Hendrickson. Save him from Cincinnati. You think Joe Flacco is going to save that team? No. Give me Trey Hendrickson. That's the best guy you can get.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, Trey Hendrickson is terrific, and he is that difference maker. He's that difference maker. Then there's always the question: will there be somebody available at the trade deadline that we're not thinking of?
There's going to be someone that we're going to be like, oh,
is there somebody that it's a difference maker that we're not thinking of? Because somebody threw out the guy who's the defensive tackle for the Giants, not DeMarcus Lawrence, but Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence, okay.
Dexter Lawrence, I cannot believe would be traded. So no, I can't go that direction. All right, I'm gonna go. This is a little bit off the menu, but I'm gonna go. I think the kind of if you said to me, who's been kind of disappointing, I would say the guy to me that's been kind of disappointing has been Luke Farrell. And I just don't see the Niners. I think they can't run because I think you're right. They don't have Kittle, but they have Luke Farrell, but he's just not doing anything in the run game. I think they just need a better tight end. I'm going to say David Njoku from Cleveland. I think Njoku, he was a first round pick in 2017. He's a big time athlete. I just think that he's played with such bad quarterbacks and such bad systems that he's just hasn't done it. Hasn't been able to do anything. So I think if you put him in a better system, I think he could do something. So I'll say David
Njoku and Kittle on that. Larry that'd be so good. That would be crazy, dude. That would actually be. I really hope they get him. I saw it like a month ago. Bleacher Report was posting Niners could go after him and this and that. I've seen like people post about it and like articles about it, but it's never like substantial information. So honestly, man. That'd be sick. That'd be a good one. That's a good one.
I'll say this. I would be very interested in seeing what teams would give me for Garendo. Okay. Because he's so big and so fast, and that's got to be intriguing to people. But he's so raw. And I think he really needs to play on a team where there's less pressure, he needs to play on a Carolina or something.
Like Carolina or something because he's buried on depth chart. Ball security was not good. He's in Kyle's doghouse. Like
he's one more fumble away from being cut.
Absolutely. You can't hold on to the ball, Larry. You are in Kyle's doghouse for life. And go send him to a team. Like, he has talent, but he just needs to play because he hasn't played as a running back in his career as a football player much. You know, he was a backup. He was converted into a running back. He has talent. He needs to go to a team like the Browns or somebody that would be able to give him like 20 carries a game. He's not going to get 2 carries a game for the Niners. He's kind of, unfortunately, wasting a roster spot with the Niners.
Trade him to Carolina for Rico Dowdell, who just had 200 yards.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'd take Rico Dowdell in a heartbeat. That guy's absolutely.
Xavier Legette.
You know, I think Xavier Legette in a 49er uniform would be an unbelievable get. That would be an unbelievable get because you know what? This guy's what he is raw. He's big, fast, talented, and raw. And if you're going to draft a guy who's raw and then you're going to move him a couple years later before he develops, then you deserve what you're getting, you know? And if you put that guy on the 49ers, and he really, you know, have you seen Xavier Legette? I mean, he's jacked. He's jacked. He's fast. Go give Jerry, you know, $50K to work with this guy 3 days a week. And 2 years from now, you're going to have a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. We got to hit some supers before we get out of here. We are very popular on the supers tonight, Raj.
It's good. Good for you.
A lot of cash rolling in here. PWS Mac's suit game needs to be studied. Studied too. Thoughts? Yeah. His suit game is questionable at best.
Questionable, Larry. His suit game needs to be studied. That's my tweet from the weekend, by the way. Mac Jones suit game.
He wears no socks.
I don't care. Have you seen his suits? He had a Harvey Dent suit. He's wore all green suit.
I like the red. I like the red suit, but I don't know about the two down the middle suit.
Dude, that was amazing, dude. You don't get it. He was Harvey Dent, Two-Face. My God, that was so cool. And then last week, the Gucci suit with the Gucci backpack. It was so cut. Oh my God.
Are you talking about the houndstooth coat he had? He had the houndstooth kind of gray suit for the home game.
That's the one with it was like a Gucci backpack.
Mac owns lots of suits.
Did you hear what he said? He goes, "I come to work, and he's like, I'm here to work. It's like business for me. Like this is, I love it, man. His suits are amazing. To me, he's got great fashion. He's got aura."
I'll defer to you. Kid Trickster, big fan of UDFA. Gabe, ITH, sleeper defensive tackle.
Okay. UDFA, Gabe-itch. Kid Trickster again.
So wrong. That's just so wrong. That's just so wrong. So this is an undrafted free agent fan, Gabe. Gabe Itch. Gabe Itch. Sleeper defensive tackle.
Kid Trickster.
Gabe Itch. He goes by Gabe Itch.
Yeah. He's a Gabe Itch.
Unbelievable. Thank you, Kid Trickster. That's just, you stay up late at night thinking of these things. MSQ. Brock Purdy, the only quarterback to beat the GOAT in his first career start. That's right. He beat Tom Brady 35-7. I was there. Unbelievable. What does that say? After, or is that
Artemis
4994. Christian Wilkins, question mark? I don't know. He's talented. He's got a lot of talent. He's if he's at home, I'd consider it. MSQ. It's crazy. Niners will get healthier. We'll get if it's crazy. Niners will get healthier offensive tackle. Knock on wood.
I hope they do. We need to get healthier.
They just can't. Got to make sure Austin Pleasance doesn't get out there.
They just need to get Gabe Itch. That's what they need.
Joseph Ernberg. This team could get healthy at the perfect time. What has happened to Ernberg? Will the real Ernberg please stand up? 49er Reefer. Krug, hardest working man in the game. Thank you, Reefer. Appreciate that. Coming from a guy named 49er Reefer, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Joseph Ernberg is back. He says we should get Breece Hall. Niners will win the Super Bowl. What do you think of Breece Hall?
Oh my God, I love him. That right there. You want another running back that actually would get carries? Go get Breece Hall. But they already made the trade for Brian Robinson. They're not going to do it. But just give him the ball. Give Brian Robinson the ball a couple times, man.
How about trade Corey Kiner to the Vikings for, I don't know, or trade Garendo to the Vikings for Corey Kiner off their practice squad? Propa, Breece Hall would help keep CMC fresh.
I agree.
Stefan, draft Proctor, Caden Proctor, left tackle of the future in Alabama. He's a freak. Guy,
we need him.
Power cleans like
they got to go tackle next year for sure.
Definitely. Look at the kid from Auburn. He's great. 49er Reefer. What's Pearsall's return ETA? He's probably going to be there next week. Would be my guess.
He might be there this week. He didn't practice in the bonus practice.
I don't think he's going to be there this week.
You don't think he's playing this week?
PCL, I would guess not. But we'll see. We'll know more tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reefer. I wish I had more info. PWS is in next year's draft. Could we possibly see the Niners draft J.C. Harris or J.C. Horn's younger brother, Gabe Horn?
Yeah, you're not getting caught on that one. Is he real? Is it Gabe?
I have no idea. It's just not.
You can't tell anyway.
These trickies. SF Sports just says, "Hey, look, I'm SF Sports, and here's $1 for you and 99 cents for Raj." SF Sports, pick up Aldon Smith. Joking, but man, how good was he? Great, yeah, he was good. Aldon Smith was an absolute monster. PWS, Max sees dead bodies and Sam sees ghosts. LOL. Thoughts? Yeah, what was that? Max saw a dead body floating in the stream by the stadium.
Yeah, so he wakes up. He's on his balcony, probably putting on the two-piece suit. You know, the Harvey Dent suit.
Where's he staying? Is he staying in one of those high rises? Those pimp daddy high rises?
What was it? The Marietta, or they're I don't remember. I know it's on the article, but I can't remember exactly. But anyways. He sees the body. He goes, tells his teammates they're getting on the charter bus, and the coroner's coming in. Someone had called the police, and so they're investigating it. But can you imagine? He saw a dead body. He goes into LA, plays through the injury, locked in to get it. Like that's crazy. He goes and he sees a dead body, and he was so locked in, and he had a hell of a game. I don't know how he did it. Mac Jones, man, that's just another lure to the story. It's amazing. Dead body saw.
What? Maybe it's time to Airbnb it, man. I mean, it's just
it's so crazy, dude.
That area by the stadium is gotten so. I mean, there's encampments, and it's just sad. It's sad.
Yeah, he was in LA, Bond.
Oh, that was LA. That was in LA.
So it was in the hotel they were staying at. So it was right before the game.
So where is that? Where's I don't know where's SoFi? What town is that exactly? What part of LA?
It's like I've been there many times. I can't even remember. It's been a minute, but it's like downtown LA. So, you know, I'm sure he saw a dead body downtown.
Urban Blight, man.
Inglewood. Yeah,
Inglewood. There you go. Yeah. Claudaddy Arcades in the house. Sup, fellas? It's been enjoyable watching our young D develop before our eyes. Having Salah here to foster that talent has proven to be invaluable. No question. I mean, look at the way that Alfred Collins is playing. That was a tremendous play last week. Check out Claudaddy Arcades, by the way. 2 locations opening this year, and that's one at Capitola Mall, which is open right now, one at Visalia Mall opening later on this year. Big fan of Claudaddy Arcades. He's a great follow on Instagram at Claw_Daddy_Arcades.
Yes, sir.
Claudaddy in the house. We've got this one from Stefan. Would you take a top 20 pick for Mac today? No, I wouldn't. I mean, I know I want that top 20 pick, but this guy could be your quarterback. I mean, your quarterback would, if he could be your quarterback, he's worth more than the 20th pick. So you got to find out. You got to find out exactly how this plays out. You don't know. Who knows? I mean, You don't know. People, we're talking about bodies here. Brock Purdy toe could never be right. You just don't know. You definitely don't get. I'm not in the business of getting rid of quarterbacks when I don't. If I had other quarterbacks, it'd be one thing, but I wouldn't. Right now, if the Niners got offered a top 20 pick for Mac, I would say, you know what? Let me think about it, and I'll let you know closer to the draft.
I take it. I know
you would take it right now. You'd send him away right now, and you'd start Adrian Martinez on Sunday.
We ball, baby. Yeah, give me the top 20
really?
pick, Larry.
Oh
no, do you think you were ever going to get a top 20 pick from Mac Jones after? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. Bro, I'm not giving away the season. And then that would be giving away the season.
For Shadors or like.
But Raj, come on, I'm very surprised to hear this from you. You are usually the kind of guy that is all about the season, and you don't want to give up on the season. You're willing to. You don't think that would be kind of giving up? I mean, nothing against Adrian Martinez. I like Adrian Martinez, but you don't think that would? You don't think? How do you think the fans would feel if all of a sudden that was done tomorrow?
Listen, I love them.
What would be the reaction? Honestly, we can ask the chat. What would be your reaction if tomorrow the Niners traded Mac Jones for the 20th pick in the draft?
For a top 20 pick, you get Mac. I love Mac Jones, but bro, to turn him into a first-round pick, top 20 pick.
This isn't fantasy football.
I know.
Quarterbacks mean something in real life.
I get it.
In fantasy, they don't mean anything, but in real life, they mean a lot.
Listen, Kyle Shanahan could go get another quarterback and fix him up. Listen.
So you don't think Mac Jones is very special? You just think it's all
I like him. I like him, and I get what you're saying because we have a quarterback situation where Brock.
You'd be giving up this year too.
You're not giving up the year. You still have your franchise quarterback on the bench.
If he's healthy.
Okay, I get it.
But he's not.
But listen, he's not. I know, but I'm getting a top 20 pick out of Mac
I know.
Jones.
It's a good price. It's a very good price.
Holy smokes, man!
I'm just surprised to hear you say that because you usually would be the guy who'd be like, yeah, we can't do that because we give away the year.
Well, I've had too much lamb vindaloo, according to Mr. Sweden.
All right. Would you take a top 20 pick? He says he would. I would not. That's why you
know with that 20 pick next year, I'm taking the top, one of the top tackles in the league.
You know what? Here would be my thought. If you're offering me the 20th pick in round one, do I think Mac Jones is going to fold like a cheap suit? If I do, I take that 20th pick. If I think Mac Jones is good, I wouldn't. And if I think Mac Jones is good, I would just let him play out this year and see. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, we don't know. I mean, the 49ers, who knows? They could get Ayuk back. They could get Kittle back. They could get 4 or 5 guys back, and all of a sudden they could start cooking. And the Super Bowl's at home. No, I can't give away this season for the 20th pick in the draft, because I also really believe that if Mac Jones is the player that I think he is based on what I've seen, you're going to be able to get something similar to that at the end of the year and get to keep the quarterback anyway. So I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't want to give away the year. And with Purdy's health situation, that I don't think I could do that. But I hear you.
I see what you're saying, and I get that. And listen, I know that maybe he can give you more value at the end of the year, but maybe he won't. Like,
I know it's a risk. You're right.
It's a tough question. Like, honestly, I can see it your way. I can see it like
it's that. What's that game show? It was that Monty whatever. Let's make a deal. It's like, do you want this or do you want what's behind door number 3?
That's a tough one, man.
It is a tough one.
Taking a top 20 pick is hard to turn down, Larry.
It is. And I'm the biggest draft guy there is. You know that.
No.
But I'm a draft guy in the off season. I'm a season guy in the season.
No, and I get it. The draft,
and also I really do kind of believe this is doable this year. I really do. I haven't seen that team that I go, oh, no way. Everybody's playing for second place. I mean, I like Philly, I like Buffalo, I like Denver, I like all these teams. They're good. I wouldn't be afraid. I wouldn't be like, oh my God. I thought the Chargers a month ago looked good, but now they're kind of watered down with the injuries. So it's a war of attrition and you just don't know. So I don't know. Weirder things have happened.
It's true. I mean, and you're right. The draft pick's not going to help us now, but man, turning down a top 20 pick for Mac Jones is,
I know.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
And considering how fast we're talking about this turnaround, a lot of people would say, "Oh my God, you've overreacted to a couple starts," and I get that, But right now, I wouldn't do it. JC Mania Dylan on Insta compared Purdy and Mac to Joe and Steve during the 87 divisional game against Minnesota. Thoughts? Who's Dylan?
Dylan, he's a content creator. He does little videos. Like, he'll sit there and talk and say, well, this is what I think about the Niners. He does like Bay Area stuff.
87 division playoffs. Niners got in a game against the Vikings. It really didn't have anything to do with Joe Montana, but he threw a pick six to Reggie Rutland right before halftime on a ball he was trying to get to Dwight Clark, and Rutland took it down the sideline for a touchdown. And the Vikings came to Candlestick, and they blew out the Niners. But in that game, the real story was Anthony Carter. Anthony Carter just went cuckoo that day. I think he had like 190 yards and 3 touchdowns. It was crazy. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. He skied for all these balls. He was amazing. He took that game over. That's really what happened there. And that Montana thing was just a footnote. And that was 87, by the way. Joe Montana went on to win the next 2 Super Bowls and play great in 90. Steve Young didn't actually emerge as, the guy until 92, 93, 94. That's where it really started to go crazy. Interesting though. Claude Daddy Arcades has this one. Krug, if in fact the Niners were to trade Mac, who would you see as a fit replacement? Who could you see Kyle wanting? Kyle, the reclamationist. Well, he told us he liked Carson Wentz.
Oh God.
And Wentz is, seemingly always available. So he hasn't gone through him yet. I could see him being here. Other than that, it's hard to say. I think maybe Zach Wilson. Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
Zach Wilson. You think you like Zach. You think he'll ever?
Maybe Tanner McKee from Stanford. Maybe
he'll finally get Kirk Cousins on the Niners like he's always wanted.
Maybe Kirk Cousins.
He's always wanted. It's his boy.
Wouldn't be the worst as a backup, that's for sure. Kirk Cousins is a good dude. MSQ, LOL, is Jake's last name pronounced Tongus or Tongus? I think it's Tongus.
Let's look it up.
Tongus or Tongus? Is it a hard G? It's a Tongus? Jake Tongus.
Tongus.
Jake Tongus. Yeah, I'm going to go Gus, a hard G.
Pronunciation. I'm looking up Tongus. Ton, like you're yawning. Tongus.
So J. So the second one's right.
Yeah.
J-U-S?
Yeah, J-U-S. Tongus.
Tongus.
Yeah, just. Tongus.
Jake Tongus.
Yeah, take Don. Yeah.
Not Tongus.
No, not Tongus.
Not Tongues.
Not Tongues. I thought it was Jake Tongues when we first signed him.
People say that when they say Jake Tongues, man. That guy Tongues.
That guy Tongues.
Blood Moon says to put this much stock into Mac 3 games in versus Brock Purdy 3 years. Quarterbacks with pressure in the playoffs shows who they are. Mac, like Sammy Dimes, will remind you, bookmark it.
I hope not. I don't know why people say that. A lot of people say that too. They're like, "Oh, watch when the pressure comes." And then like Niner fans, I had no disrespect to my boy Blood Moon, but if Mac Jones is our quarterback in playoffs, damn, I hope he balls out, man. I just
don't get that vibe. I respect your opinion. I just don't get that vibe. JC Mania, it's an interesting reel. Dylan made if interested. It's an interesting reel.
Dylan is the Dragon, I think, is his user. You can check him out. He does.
I'll check him out. Gotta see. I gotta see who's out there.
Yeah.
Who's on the upcome.
You can get him.
Get him on the show.
Yeah, maybe.
Joseph Ernberg, it's a special year when Grant talks positively.
That's
great.
It's actually true.
Good stuff. All right, Raj, what do you got cooking this week? How do you give me? I kind of feel like this is going to be a battle royale, but I'll tell you, I like the Niners. Here's why. Tampa Bay special teams not good. Last week, Seattle ran for 6 yards a carry, so I think the Niners might be able to get the run game going. And without Bucky Irving, I don't think those other 2 runners, Tucker's a little dinged up. Rashad White's a better receiver than a runner. I don't think they're going to have this overwhelming run game. It's going to be a tough cover to rush Mayfield and to cover Egbuka for sure. But I like the Niners to win a dogfight. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'll say 27-21 49ers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight. I think it's going to be a close one. Eddie Pinheiro, another game winner. The legend continues. I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to come down to the leg of Eddie P. It's going to be a wild finish in Tampa, and we're going to leave Raymond James with the W. And also, real quick, shout out to me, RSF on Instagram. Check it out. We are so close. We are literally so close to 400,000 subscribers. 400K. No football fan page out of every team in the entire NFL has that many people. So
400,000. 400,000. You got to really think twice if you want to make a comment, huh? Because it's like, whoa, 400,000 people are getting it.
That's a lot.
You got a lot. You get some serious comments. Raj, let's see that jersey, by the way. Let's see that Bosa jersey. That's the faithful. That's week 18. That font looks cool. That's a nice. I'm
sad it's Bosa, man. I was so sad when I got it and then he tore the ace and I was just like, oh man, that was tough. Maybe I jinxed him, but I hope I didn't. It's tough.
Raj jinx Bosa? No, I'm just kidding.
Shout out to the Houston Niner Empire, my man JC Montana. There you go. What's the handle? RSF 49ers.
There you go. All right, that's going to do it for us. Oh wait, you know what? No, I wanted to share the screen on one last thing. This is really cool. I don't like a lot of the rah-rah stuff, but you know what? Sometimes there's some really, really good stuff from the live mic, and I just love the great live mic moment. And here we have one. And let's finish on this because this is real football. This is really cool. The Niners, somebody had this out there. If you've seen it already, forgive me, but I think it's cool. So I'm going to play it. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Paul. Hey, alert him, James.
It's Kyron Williams, and he is.
Ball out. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! Let's go, man! Let's go!
A big right hook from Alfred Collins for the biggest play of his young career.
You put and got it? He's a dog. He's a dog. What? Hey,
it's just awesome.
My favorite is Eddie Pinheiro. That was all Niner fans.
Dude, Eddie Pinheiro's like, we love Eddie Pinheiro right now.
I told you when we signed him, I said if he does great, Niner fans are gonna love this guy. If go get it, remember I told you go make Eddie Pinheiro merchandise. It's going to sell like hotcakes. If you post anything about Eddie Pinheiro, it blows up because
Eddie Dinero Pinheiro, Kev. We need the T-shirt. It's coming to the Krug show, Krug store. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly.